criminal shows talk about getting a warrant and going out and fighting it in court and Perry Mason bullshit. But there's an administrative warrant that they can get. A judge will sign off, and they can come take a look at a limited way during normal hours and come take a look. Is that greenhouse that we don't show as permitted? Is there something in there we should see?
Yeah, I think that's happened to me.
Well, everybody that's on this phone call that grows needs to keep in mind the building code. Your greenhouse can't be over 120 square feet.
Yes.
You can have multiples of them that are 100 feet, if that's what you need to do to grow your outdoor crop. But, I just recently went out and bought a 100 square foot greenhouse. Because that is not something that's going to red flag my property.
At least you hope.
And I grow compliant. I'm going to grow my 6 plants if that's what it is. They're going to be the biggest damn 6 plants you've ever seen in your life, but that's what I'm going to grow.
You can also pull a permit for a larger greenhouse.
Well, you can.
Welcome, man.
You're going to be on the radar.
It's not too terribly expensive, but it is a long process.
Yeah.
Especially right now with the county being shut down.
Well, and we're building greenhouses. We bring a kid in. You still got to pull a permit. Someone's got to inspect it. Okay, so that's a part of a process that certainly you can do, and you have a right to go pull a permit, put a greenhouse out, and grow your 6 plants in 1,000 square feet. Okay, as long as it's 6 plants, you're not breaking the law. You have a permit for that space. It's kind of an expensive hobby to have, and we're looking at people who can barely put food on their table, and this plant grows, relatively speaking, pretty free.
Yeah.
Okay? It ain't rocket science.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty
I've been
good.
dealing with this for a long time, and people are friends of mine. They're older than me. They're feeble. They're infirmed. They can't take care of their gardens. So we work together cooperatively. And there's that possibility too. And I'm part of this group in the county that are kind of getting curmudgeon-y. Fucking old people get an ego about, I've been through it and I know everything. You don't know shit.
Yeah.
Okay? And we need to bring more people into that group. And I ain't afraid to tell them, if you're getting real long in the tooth, you might want to step aside and let somebody run a goddamn computer, okay, and can set up a Zoom. I mean, it's incredible. I'm an old dude that's IT challenged, and I got this figured out a lot more. And I'm looking for people that are young and smart, and we can work on ideas. And look, please, bring me a joint when I'm old and sitting on my front porch in a rocking chair drinking whiskey.
Giddy up.
Come take this shit over. I'm tired. I'm tired.
I got a quick question for you.
Yeah.
Is there a way that a bunch of us who are having these problems doing this could get together and basically kind of do a co-op thing where we pull a commercial license and it's just a commercial cannabis business that doesn't make any fucking money?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You don't have to be
I like that idea.
Okay. Well, and I've been trying to get people aware that if you have a particular expertise, but you got a postage stamp piece of property, let's say you got some genetics, and all you got's an indoor, okay, and somebody's got a nice, sweet piece of property and couldn't grow a plant, their fucking life depended on it, okay, can you guys, come together, and we can help you put together a business structure.
Yeah.
It's going to cost some money, but if you control your genetics, you can then get genetics through a supply chain out to people who might want to grow their 6 plants and set up locally. We can work out arrangements with the brick and mortar stores that these strains, and maybe we give discounts, or maybe that's part of a compassionate giveaway that we'll donate 6 plants at a time to people that belong to some organization we're trustworthy of, and you can do that, okay? But it's capitalism, guys, and it's a bit of dog eat dog, so it takes some working together. And the other thing that's possible is that if we get enough of these smaller growers together, you can put up to 4 acres of canopy together, and you're not held to all the antitrust laws. You can get together and say, we're growing only this strain in all of our 4 acres, and we won't sell unless we get this price.
Oh, wow.
Okay? Yeah, it's called a Cannabis Cooperative Association. And
like
I'm prepared to help people. I've got, on the other side of the valley, people are doing this in Mendo and Humboldt County right now. They've got the templates, and I'll go I'll twist their arm to make them give them to me.
All right.
Okay?
All right.
And I'll bring people over here who've actually done this, and we'll have some Zoom meetings like this, and make it possible for you to work together. It's not all doom and gloom. It's just way too slow and too goddamn expensive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
and I can't fix that.
can I ask you a quick question?
This
People
case
are.
again, you can put my name on that list if that is something people are truly interested in. You know, I'm not a man made of money, and that's one of the reasons I'm not in the commercial industry right now. You know, I'm working on smaller things such as food and hemp and things of that nature. But, you know, if there is a group or a collective of people out there that are small time, you know, for me, I have a plethora of experience and knowledge to bring forward to the table, being from growing to extractions, you name it. You know, I've maintained farms with organic certifications. You know, but that's where my hands are tied is with dollars when it comes to that. And if there is a group that can come together, I don't care if it's 2,000 of us that make it happen. You know, I'd love
To
to be
start.
part of that.
Yeah.
Well, what I can tell you
Put me on that
is
list
that
too.
coming out of
Yeah, me
this
too.
virus, okay, it's hard to predict what they're going to do. They had to make some have been told we're letting people out of prison because they're not going to be a threat, you know, and okay, and oh, cannabis is an essential business. Well, what is that supposed to mean now? And all around this industry are people who grow. So we need dirt. You can't get organic compost without going to Nevada City. So there's business opportunities, and I'm happy to work with the community out there, either through my law office or through Heather's Business Services, to set up the business structure and teach you what that means, and then let people go out. And for the small growers that grow real vegetables, they're dumping them because there's no restaurants open. Well, they're going to come back open again. Okay, and so the supply chains of good organic food, that part of it, in my opinion, needs to be diverted to people that are in distress over their food.
That was our next question, actually. Standing next to the bankruptcy door, everybody says, what can farms and ranches do to actually make a profit here in the mountains,
Well, we're
other
going to
than
have
cannabis?
a couple of farmers markets open up probably next month, okay, or in early June, if I remember right. The one in Garden Valley is going to open up, so we will see that part of the supply chain open up, and then pay attention to how much people go there to buy food. What's happened in the big CAFOs, they call them, the concentrated animal feeding operations, and the processing, is that is such a mess right now. They got everybody sick in these goddamn plants.
Yeah.
They closed them down. Now the president's got a pissing match with them. We need to be able to locally look at how we could partner up with people to grow things, to move it around. All the big processing plants have done, but they're still small meat processing operations. If they survive this, it's take a look at resources. Who can do what? Okay, and if someone can get, say, beef inspected or hog inspected or chicken inspected, or can you come together as just a consumer? Hey, 4 of us are going to come in and buy, 3 halves of a cow, all right, or a steer,
Right.
and someone's going to come slaughter it for you, and you figure it out, and the farmer actually is able to do that and feed their half they're going to give for free and actually put some money in their pocket. There are creative ways to be local.
Oh.
Okay, and coming out of this, the restaurants in the county are a good target for food, fresh food. But Sacramento, the famous farm to fork, there ain't no fucking farms no more.
Yeah. Exactly.
Hey, now what? Well,
Yeah.
you're going to turn the supply on, so if you can get food into the hands of restaurateurs who will use it and get it supplied well, you bring everybody online, and hey, they tell you, I'm going to have this much kale ready at this time. Can we have it move through a supply chain where everybody gets a piece of it?
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you put people to work.
Exactly.
That's what I'm interested in, because people need food, they need shelter.
Okay, we got one. I got one more question that just pounded me to tell you. What is a safe communications program that the feds ain't watching, and it's one we can use?
Hey, if we hike out in the woods and leave our cell phones in our trucks, okay,
Yeah.
we may be safe.
Really?
Privacy was given up when people wanted this mental masturbation on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
You gave it up.
I gave up Facebook
Okay? And
usually.
people gave it up voluntarily. Now, oh my God, they know so much. You goddamn right. You read the 400-page, terms of whatever, and it says in there, we're going to do whatever we want with your stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
And trust me, the feds are listening. I got some war stories about what they did to my office when they were watching me and tried to deny it was them. And we fucking caught them red-handed.
Really?
Oh, it's not us. Don't look behind the curtain. No, I don't trust them.
Yeah.
So I have a couple.
It doesn't exist.
Is there any protections for if you currently have a medical garden going, like to where you're able to finish it?
That's a good
How does
question.
it go when this goes into effect?
Well, theoretically, their first fly over the satellite of April. Okay? What they understand is that the value of the crop starts to really enhance around August, September timeframe. It's too late to cut it down. So we were told the end of summer is when they're going to start the heavy enforcement. Okay? So if you have a way between now and then to get a crop in, I'm not going to tell you it's legal. Okay? I can't do that. But I know people are pulling tarps right now.
Okay, what about the grandfather clause? Can't we jump on that one?
What grandfather clause?
In other words, we already had a big garden last year, and the new rules don't apply because we're grandfathered in.
The county has every legal right to do what they're doing to cut you back to 6 plants, and the law don't give two shits what you did last year.
Yeah.
Well, we need you as a District 2 leader the next voting season.
Listen, the last time I ran for political office, I got 5 years in federal
Years in
prison.
prison. Yeah, we're done.
Yeah, but you learned and you can teach them now.
Well, I'm happy to do this, okay? Who I'm talking to right now were, my kids' family, their friends when I was growing up. The old farts like me, we all had kids.
Yeah.
And then now they're having grandkids. And I want this to be normalized.
Yes.
I don't want you driving down the road smoking fucking dabs and crashing into shit. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That is. I agree.
But, everybody in my family is ready to, pour a beer and pour a glass of wine, and no one thinks about it.
Yeah.
They also will roll up a joint and smoke it. It don't bother me, but it puckers the ass of a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's my goal.
I'm
Where
finding
shit
this out.
matter. We're not going to punish you because I don't like the smell of it. Cool.
Right.
Hey, so I have a question. Yeah, I don't know if Casey mentioned it, but and he's the one who found it. The day after the meeting, or two, they pulled down the agenda discussion off the County Board of Supervisors meeting schedule.
Yep, they did.
Yeah, I've
Is
heard
there,
that too.
is there,
It's a little
is there a
underhand.
reason that you can think of for that?
Well, normally I
Are they?
would ask Creighton
Are they-
and Bree, but they're holding their cards close to the vest right now.
Yeah. Are they considering taking a little more time and going for 6 indoor plants and form even closer to 64?
Well, my knee-jerk reaction to say no is that the train's left the station. We have one more sort of ministerial act here. They'll probably
Right.
have some public, comment, and hopefully Brian Bierkamp will make another friendly amendment to, make you be inside a locked building or something. I don't know. That's possible. But once they get past this, it takes immediate effect.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm just wondering if in fact they huddled afterwards because I can't remember the name of the lady, the other
Sue
supervisor.
Novosel,
No,
Yeah.
not Sue. She's
Lori
fine.
Parlins.
Franson.
Oh, she-
Yeah, Shiva has a huge concern that people are going to come into residential areas and grow their 6 plants and they'll have even more smell concerns. She was one that's like, I can be moved, to be more conservative, to go indoors and hopefully prevent that because that was a strong sentiment that people were taking calls for that. Sue doesn't have to worry about that up where she's at.
nobody could really grow outside. But down here, Beer Camp, Parlin, Shiva, they're all, that's a burn for them to have to take those calls in August, September, and October.
Well, Heather and I have met with all of them personally, multiple times, okay, and talked about these issues. And until we can satisfy the people in the county who are in favor of cannabis but don't use it themselves, that something's being done, then you're going to get deaf ears. And this is a part of this problem that it's hard for people to really accept, is that this is not the biggest problem the county's facing. It ain't the only one. It ain't the biggest one. In our lives, it's pretty damn big. Okay.
Yeah.
But in them, it's not. And as far as I know, nobody on that council smokes pot.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
well, that's a
As far as
bummer.
I know.
No wonder
and,
they aren't
sometimes,
thinking.
like being gay in the '60s, you just don't want to wear your happy hat. And, you want to be what you are. But I don't think they do. And Shiva doesn't like this, but she understands the compassion angle.
Yeah, I've
Brian
seen that.
has people in his family
His
who
mind's made up.
are supporters, and he's not. He's a businessman, and I've had the discussions. This is good business. If you want to stop the black market, increase the size of the white market. Do
Yeah.
it quickly. It's better than law enforcement. He gets that. But, he's also going to help the sheriff because he's a conservative law and order kind of guy. I get it.
Right. Yeah.
And until we get beyond this first wave, and if we can get the ad hoc up where we can identify the problems, okay, and we can have more of these meetings so we can identify them, and it's not just me sitting down or doing a presentation to them, because I've done that where you show pictures and graphs and 8x10 color glossies, and it's like, oh, they get it. Yeah, they get it. Now the next level is how many people have problems with 6 plants? What kind of problems? Are there clear pathways to fix this without a big battle, a lot of resource time? They actually attach a cost to every human being. They figure out how many bodies does it take to deal with this, and they give it an ascribed value. It's overpriced, but that's how they look at it.
Okay.
So if you can find a way to do this where it takes very little time, then that, I think that's the avenue to give relief to the people who can't make it on 6 plants.
So we are on a 2-minute. I don't want to take up any more of your schedule, Dale. Just had one question. It's banging over here. Is it a waste of time to attend and comment on the next meeting with the supervisors?
No. But if you target your comments to only the issues that are before them.
Okay.
And I can't emphasize this enough, because there are some people in the county who have a long list of grievances, and they're going to vote on one thing you have a grievance about, and you want to throw everything in, and they don't listen to you. Okay?
Right.
That's a problem.
So you're thinking if we got people call in and say, I'm against the 6 plants in residential neighborhoods, and I'm gonna be calling you in September, and I'm gonna be asking you, I can smell us. Now what?
That's everyone's right as a citizen of the county and the state and this nation. Okay, that's how politics works. Okay,
That's the monkey wrench.
it
essentially.
is.
We got to learn
It's-
politics.
I've been doing this for 20 years, guys, and I'm tired. Okay, but I know how the rodeo goes. So if you can be focused, and this is something that Heather and I can help you. You put together your points, and let's see if we can refine them down to the bullets that are going to make the most difference at what they're doing. And then if we can get the ad hoc open back up, we need minds coming into this that are focused on solutions. Let's identify the problems we're having.
Right.
And if the sheriff gets the bloodlust out of his system, and they're now dealing with, people in national forces shoot back, and, trespass and state line shoot back, big operators that, let them go do that. And the other people, let's find a way to do it more peacefully, and
Yeah.
see if we can find a way to, make them think that we're coming forward as good people trying to find a way to solve this problem.
I like that.
Okay, this is out of my expertise or experience, and it's trying to figure. You're talking about having the ad hoc process again, which I think is great. the thing that's really, and you use the exemption process. You try to inform the board that have a process for people to be able to present their case on their medical need, and that didn't go anywhere, but because it's complicated. But in the process, is there a way to get doctors who are obviously cannabis compassionate, and or actually even use it in their practice for their patients to start that process where we can build a body of facts.
Well, it just so happens that I was the first attorney for the original Cannabis Coalitions group in California 20 years ago. I still know them all, and I know a lot of them. And they have volunteered.
You are the
one level
grandfather.
or another to be part of the process.
We love you dearly,
We just
Dale.
haven't figured out when is the right time to bring to this discussion facts. Okay, and up to this point, dealing with the sheriff's blood's up, and Vern thinks everyone's a scammer and stuff like that. Okay,
Yeah.
It's like I hear you talking, but you can't come in or not. I'm not going to accept that yet. So
You can't see
that's
the
a
tree
political
in the
reality.
forest.
But we saw that on the board, there's still some people going, hey, hang on. Let's not just get too far on the surfboard here.
Yeah.
And let's figure this out. So some of this is, like I said, the train left the station. We're going to 6 plants because the cops can do it without taking their shoes off, okay?
Can't we blow the
Yeah,
bridge so
just
they
deal
can't
with
get
some of
through?
that right now. But what I didn't know, and I still don't know, is how many people out there have real life issues producing enough from the 6 plants that are the chemotypes that meet their needs. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
We can certainly come back and circle back talk about what this means. And if anybody has strains that produce something like you need that might get bigger, we can connect people up, start talking about that. There's room
Candyland.
for cooperation, but we need data. Heidel's a data guy.
Yeah.
And if we come at him with here's the stats, here's how it's working, Sue, I think, is going to be trying to find ways to make this work. And that's probably our ad hoc committee.
Yeah, she's key, I think.
Well, she just pulled the hat trick on getting Myers opened up.
Yeah.
And we haven't gone back and talked all the politics about that yet with her, but there's some out there. And if you are some district supervisor, then you're looking out for your district. But then you got to go figure out what somebody else wants and how can we accommodate what you want to give me what I want. And that's the ugly part of this. It's politics.
Yeah.
And people have to be willing to come out and vote.
Yeah, so keep us informed on these important things. And I think there's just there was one other. Yeah, so I did ask you that question, I'm not going to ask it again. Some people aren't paying attention, but anyway, I know that it's past 6:03. I got to actually check on a pregnant pig to see if she had her little babies, and you guys are so great to participate in this meeting. I'm so glad that we all got together. You guys can keep talking, but I have to run out and do these duties. And please post. Can we post like a next meeting here as soon as possible? I think there's some other people that we're trying to get on. They text me and said that their phone is not working. So I just would like to give them another chance to talk to you, especially Dale. I think you are so advisable about all this stuff. Calm me down, okay? I'm not going to put my gun order in. I'm going to hold off on the 150 clones. I'm going to just do 6. And I'll probably get my buddy 6 clones. We'll stay in those orders. And thank you guys for your time.
Well, let me just tell you how I feel about this, is that I faced death, and this helped, okay? And you don't get farther into it than that.
Right.
Now, I also am trained as a lawyer, and I've dealt with this county for a long time. And I'm not afraid to tell somebody what I think, and tell you you're full of shit and sit down and shut up.
I like that.
Okay? Because sometimes we need that. People get heated and they just, no, stop it. There's a place where you come in and you sit on your hands and you let somebody speak for you, or you come up and you present in a way that they listen and are respectful.
Yeah.
Okay? It ain't the way I like to play it, but if you don't play some of these things in ways that they want to hear it, then you're not going to get anywhere. And I want to.
Can I add?
Can I add a little something? Okay, so I am a long-term survivor of an AIDS diagnosis. I was infected in 1985, and that was before there was even a name for it. It was GRID or gay-related, and I was not a person on drugs. I got it through a boyfriend that I didn't know that he was bisexual, and I've been on a tremendous amount of ravaging medications that have done harm to my kidneys and this and that and the other thing. And I never tell my status. I'm like a hermit, but when I called in on that meeting, I told everybody my status, and I'm not afraid to do it. And I'm one person at least that uses cannabis to alleviate a lot of these horrible symptoms. Like I can't eat, I'm nauseous all the time, stuff like that. So I'm one person. I don't know how to get other people.
Well, we've started the process because everyone on this call knows some people, and we'll put this out in video form. And if somebody needs to, hey, I got a computer, I can watch it, bring a couple, appropriately socially distance and whatever you got to do. But let's start the process because I'm happy to come back and do this again and multiple times because I introduced you some ideas I have about how we can meet some compassionate needs, how we can try to get people to do businesses that regionally provide food and other things for restaurants and for poor people. And there are some creative things we can do. Okay, and I'm willing to put that kind of time in because this is where I raise my kids, and I live here now. I'm going to I got 10 grandkids. I want them to live here too.
Right. Okay. And I can reach out to, I belong to the Sierra AIDS Foundation, and I can go and meet with people, see if any, I really don't, I'm like a hermit. I don't get involved, but I can go over there and see if anybody's on board with this, and maybe they can get involved, and that would be more medical people.
Yeah. Well, see, I'm quiet and
then, of
shy
course,
and demure myself. So
Yeah, right.
I don't know how to do this. We
I
scream from
Hey,
the
somebody's
mountaintop
gotta do
sometimes.
it.
Other times you sit down and hug somebody as they're sick.
Yeah, I got a quick question for you. Now, right now, basically, it's not in effect yet, but it will be after the second reading. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
So, and in that case, basically, if they send you a letter, then you can come into compliance at that point. And as long as you do, there's nothing that's going to come from it but a letter. Is that correct?
Yeah. You get 96 hours to abate, cut back to 6, and there's no financial penalty to it.
So I heard one of the guys saying, I'm just gonna not order my 150 and do the 6. But I mean, for me, I'm fortunate to be in the position where I can gamble on some shit, and I think if everybody's scared, there's a chance that they're bluffing, and you're not going to get that letter. I feel like if you've got the ability to do it, you should do your 25 or whatever you need, and then if you have to cut back to 6, you cut back to 6.
Well, okay. What I can tell you legally, if they make it 6, it's going to be 6. But what I've also told them is that if how about if they show up and you need more than 6, and rather than cut back, is there a way that we can say, gee, can I apply for a waiver? And I think that that's still a possibility because when we passed the initiatives, they put a specific prohibition of asking for a waiver if you purchase the property after the day of the election. But the waiver exists inside the planning commission. Okay, they can limit your right to ask for it, but it's still a mechanism. And so I intend to explore that. Okay, and I'm happy to ask very straightforward to Kimberly, who runs the place. Can we have a default to the 24600 stuff? Is that possible? Because once they show up, it's no longer, are you going to grow weed? I've grown it. Now I want to grow my 10 plants rather than 6, or I need 200 square feet with this number of plants. I don't think it's rocket science, but I've been dealing with the medicine and the metrics of this for 20 years. I was fighting to get 100 square feet and 99 plants 20 years ago with normal. And we came up with 10 flowering and 20 to start. So if you start from seed, roughly, okay? So we've had all sorts of iterations in this county. And right now the sheriff thinks he's the tail wagging the dog, and that's cool. But ultimately, when he rolled in on Kelly, he pissed off the board, and he and Vern have been fighting, and there's no enforcement, so why am I doing this? Yeah, well, because we've changed this from criminal to code enforcement. Okay, so we need to make sure that we're on the code enforcement side of this. We're not the criminals. Don't come in with guns. And please, 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 if I need 10 plants or 200 square feet, is there a way for me to at least ask?
And my other thing is that it's my understanding that you can own guns. You just can't have them anywhere around your garden or anything. It has to be like locked up, maybe even at your friend's house, but whatever. Just nowhere near it to where they could say that you were using it to protect your marijuana.
Well, the statute uses language where mine were locked in a safe or in a room. I just happened to be storing like 3 or 4 pounds of weed in the room they were stored in, but they have discretion to decide to do that. I just hate to see them have that sort of ability to really squeeze you, because 3, 5, 7 years tagged on to a minimum mandatory 5. And see, they can add plants for 5 years. Okay, so if it's 6 plants, you never worry about the feds getting a felony over you that they can send you into prison. So there's some things about this that are easier than the situation I dealt with. But the gun situation, there is no answer as long as it's in Schedule 1, or even if it's in the schedule and you don't have a permit to manufacture a Schedule 2 or a Schedule 3 drug. Still, the federal drug laws can tie you up in prison for quite some time. I don't have an answer, but it's concerning to me.
Hey, do we have any more questions? Since it's like 6:15.
I'm back.
I have one comment that whoever's getting rid of those clones should find out where Shiva lives and start asking people in the neighborhood if they want 6 plants.
Oh, you're a shit stirrer. I've been turned in the punch bowl, so I can identify with you. I get it. There's a lot of things that are possible to do. The more we talk and the more you get the emotions out and we start looking at a strategy, then the better off we're all going to be. Because some of this makes me so mad I want to choke people. That fixes nothing.
Well, is it okay?
I mean, it may make you feel better as you choke the shit out of somebody, but it doesn't fix it.
Is it okay that I post this on Nextdoor? It's I just wanted to let people know kind of that I'm not trying to cause any problems. I just want to get the facts out there for them so they feel safe and do the right things and not jeopardize their ranch and that we all know we've been paying for. And of course the insurance thing is the biggest issue that I hope that the Board of Supervisors would focus on, other than this cannabis thing.
Well, this county's going to take a big economic hit, just like all of them are, because of COVID, and this is just going to add to it. Because there's a lot of growers out there that are keeping little hardware stores and feed stores alive.
Yeah.
Oh,
I agree.
and they know it.
Yeah.
And they go to all these stores and they see what's on the shelves and they talk to the owners, and the cops are out there doing intel, just like all of us talk to people we know, and we know what's going on.
I like them.
To a significant extent, I want to have the conversations with the sheriff that, look, can we take us off your radar?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Really.
And if you want to use your guns and do that, I know a guy who deals in body bags. We'll get some donated to you. Please go do that. Get it out of your system. But people that I know where they're sick, the last thing you want to be is afraid.
Right.
And that's why my kids slept out in people's gardens. Little old ladies like, we'll protect your plants. Okay?
Yeah.
I've been doing this for a long time. And you just sometimes got to get creative and find the bounds of the law and be as creative as you can be right up to that line.
Yeah. That's good advice. Thank you so much for your time. I just can't thank you 100,000 thanks, and I know that people are going to see this later and go, how come I didn't get on that meeting? How come I didn't know about it? That's what's going on. And it just seems like some of the websites are just getting cut off and they just don't want this meeting to happen. And they just are afraid that we're assembling, but hey, we're keeping our distance, aren't we, guys?
Well, just to be fair, the government starts out building a horse and ends up with a giraffe. The first meeting I attended, I had like a 10-second delay in what I was seeing and what I was hearing. It was the god awfulest mess. So I don't give them all the credit for it right. They're reacting here, and it's possible someone just can't figure this out.
Yeah.
But we also have to be aware that there's forces out there we're not given privy information to.
Yeah.
They've been planning for a long time. You take away a cop's ability to do anything when you're in his face breaking the law, and they don't.
He'll come back.
That.
Yep. They'll get you.
So, it
Found
just
that out.
understand human factors here, and this is about Sun Tzu talks about knowing yourself and your enemy, and you're going to prevail in most encounters. Okay?
Right.
So, those are things we can certainly talk about in the theoretical, but some game plans of what to present at these meetings, and then afterwards, if we're going to go to ad hoc, some plans of what you want to ask for and things like that. We can certainly talk about that more.
Okay. That sounds wonderful.
And the word will get out, and we'll get as many people informed as we can.
Hey, another thing I wanted to ask you too. When you guys are looking at your screen, can you see everyone?
I see nobody but Heather and I.
Yeah, and that's all I see too.
Yeah, there's people, you entered your name when you came on, and so we see names and a couple telephone numbers, but other than that, we see blank squares.
Okay, now this is something that happened in the meeting with the board of directors. They were showing slides, and it was like, why couldn't they just put another view on them slides so the people could see them?
You can. You just have to scroll your screen if you're on a phone left to right, or there's other options where you can pull up to other views. And when I first tried to get on this call, I couldn't hear anything, and I had to click a button that was weird that said dial in to hear audio via the internet. So if people had that problem, they could try that, because I know a lot of people are probably like me and are trying to do it on their smartphone.
Yeah. Well, Heather and I, this is our 4th Zoom meeting today. And I have a class at Oaksterdam on Thursday I'm teaching. So I'm learning how to put pictures and bring people off in the waiting rooms and get answers and hands go up and all that happy horse shit. We're trying to figure out. And I'm a work in progress, so is Heather. So we'll figure this out. And if you have the technology to be able to do it, and other people that have similar technology, then pass it along.
Yeah.
Because the more the merrier.
They just don't think their phones can do it.
I have one question.
Go ahead, Matt.
Question or statement, I guess, and it falls into what you just said and what you were both saying, is that you're dealing with a fairly independent lot. People don't want to be in other people's business, partly because of the medicinal, but also just that's a lot of human nature, especially if you're living in the hills. What's the way? The only way we're going to be able to get an ad hoc or move this process forward is by getting this word out, and it's not easy to do. The shock factor is coming. The first May is going to be a real test. Is going to be a test tube for this county.
Yeah.
But what is it going to take to get all these people somehow noticed to be able to get their voices heard? Like when they call, when Kelly calls in and I have 7,000 patients that I'm representing, they just blow him off like he's just one guy.
Okay. Yeah, can I say something? I got permission from Kelly to go in front of his dispensary with a petition, but he did not let me stand by the entrance. He had me go across the parking lot. I was there for 3 hours. I did not get one signature.
Oh.
So even the guard said to me, he said, when people come here, they're laser focused because now they're doing the 6 foot apart at the dispensary. Just go in, get their stuff, and get out. They're not looking behind who's standing behind. I had a big neon lime green sign, which I think I put 7 around the county, and I checked them, and nobody's taking them down. I'm
Good girl.
I'm telling them what's going on. I'm advising them to write or call their board of supervisors.
Good girl. All right.
So maybe tomorrow their clones are coming in at 10 o'clock, and the line was like out the door. I'll get there at 10 o'clock, and I'll try it again, and if I go a little closer, because that's where I'll get the signatures.
Good for you.
Well, we're in the foxhole, the COVID-19 foxhole right now. So we're on a meeting right now. We've got what do we got? 9 people all together here. Heather and I are reaching out to the rest of you, and we'll do this again. Try to get the word out, and see if we can gather people who want to participate. We've got a recording of it now. We can get this out. I mean, if John or Vern or anybody else wants to watch, they know what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Sometimes I cuss. I don't give a shit if they like it or not.
I love it.
And they all know what I've been through, and I'm back knocking on the door saying, "Can we pick up where we left off and fix this shit?"
Speaketh your mind, yes.
Can we do that?
We love this.
And I don't cuss when I'm in front of the dais because I go to court and I have to keep my mouth shut. But I've got children that sometimes I tell them I'm gonna slap the shit out of you. And they know who I am now. They give me the microphone and tell me, "Would you go out and deal with these people?" Well, let's not have me do that. Let's talk about some strategies here.
You the man, Dale.
And people will take parts in it because they're comfortable. And if you're not comfortable, that doesn't mean you're less of a person. It just means that you don't want to be in that role. And I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Okay? I was thrust into this, not that I wanted to, but I got too big a mouth. Okay? And
I have an incentive. So, is it legal to sit there with a big bowl rolled with joints and have say free joints and then have to come over for that and then see the sign?
Well, that's the kind of in-your-face stuff that could blow up.
I don't think Kelly would like that very much.
Well, no, and see, just so you understand, I represent hundreds of combat disabled vets, and they have volunteered to get on buses and come
Yeah.
up here
Yeah.
and rip this county apart. Sanjay Gupta follows them, and we could bring stuff in here. I don't want to pull that trigger because I think there's a way in here for our legitimate medical needs to be met.
Yes.
Okay? But the offer stands out there, and I'm a vet myself. I know what it means to have a battle plan, and we can work on that. And a lot of it is just being comfortable with where we can go and what steps we can take. And some of this you just have to, like I said, you're a jackass in a Texas hailstorm. You don't like it, you can't run, you can't make a stop.
I love it when he says that.
So,
At least they're gonna let us grow 6 instead of none. That's the bright side, I guess.
okay, and that, okay, we'll give it to them. But the voters said we can grow 6.
Well, they're trying to take our outdoor away.
You can't
That's
cut us back into
recreational.
where they would.
That's recreational though. That's not medical.
Well, but the medical right now ain't worth a shit because it ain't no money in the system. So we got a lot of things to talk about. And listen, we got to run, but let's
Yeah.
see if we can. But I'm willing to, let's see what we can do because when I.
Oh, you're cutting out.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
thank you for your hard work and all your time. Thank you.
You're welcome. We'll do this again. Okay.
Yeah, Dale,
Real
thanks.
quick, do you have somewhere where someone can donate for your time? Because thank yous don't pay for gas and bills and everything else. So
Well,
there's kind
Heather.
of thing where we
Okay,
could throw
we
some
have-
money together.
Yeah, we have the business services, which Heather runs. If you want to give her some money, she's happy to take it. We got to pay a tax payment here coming up for the corporation and stuff like that. And, we're going to do some actual teaching seminars where we might charge people $25 to come in and get access to. We're going to talk specifically about some stuff so we can raise, a little bit of money too.
Oh, I did start one, and I wanted to see if it was okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's on FundMe, I believe, and I'll find the shortcut. And it was to get Dale Schafer's house back. Fun.
You have no idea. I had to tell him I'm a felon when I apply for rental up here. Jesus God,
Oh
what a
my
mess.
God. It took
God,
us so
what a mess.
long to find him a house.
Well, you.
Yeah, I want to buy one now, but I got to get cash. You missed this thing. I got to have cash flow. I'm on business, and now we're all hunkered down.
Well, hey, we maybe need to talk because, I would like to be able to help you. And you're always invited to come to my ranch and have a big old steak and a big old joint.
Hey, let me tell you what. I have some friends. We play music. We just had our first, appropriate distance, get together. My son Mike's up. He runs bands. He plays. So we're gonna do stuff like that, and we'll, I'm happy to travel. When I was in prison, what kept me sane was playing the guitar.
Yes, we got to hear some music. You got some on YouTube we can hear?
Well,
Working on that too. Working on that too.
my son has one that's famous, but we're going to try to.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll shut up now and let you go.
Okay.
All right. Thank you all.
Bye,
Hey,
Heather.
thank you, everybody.
Talk to you
Yes.
soon, okay? Bye.
Stay in touch. Okay, bye-bye, guys.